on. So പഴയ timetable പ്രകാരം it was June 29th was the last day for your classes, offline classes, and I think July first week was the someday, I think 7 or something was the day in which we should have published the internal marks, etc. But in between you had a break of 1 week, because of which I think the classes will be shifted again for another 1 week. So I am expecting the classes to end by July 2nd week or starting of 3rd week. So I think we'll have enough time to complete our syllabus. Maybe we'll have some extra time also. Anyway, so I haven't finished looking at your answer sheets. I have been a bit busy because of some other things. So I will finish it possibly by this weekend. I had already, like, for EC1 class, I have done, I think, the first 40 students or something like that. Okay, fine. So let me share the presentation. Just give me a second. Okay, couple of things. So essay exams are going on currently, and the university had given instructions to the faculty on how to set the question paper. So, and the university has specifically said that 50% of the questions should be application or design level questions. So I don't know whether this will come into effect for you. Like, anyway, S6 already the dates are out when the exams are starting, etc. No, sorry, not for X6. I think it's for S1 and S3. So for S6, I'm not sure whether the university is going to conduct the exam in offline or online. If it is in offline mode, it will be the normal question paper kind of thing, where if you look at the previous year's question papers, you see that it's purely theory-based subject, our subject. But if it is going to be in online mode, then it is possible that the university might ask the faculty to set the question paper in which 50% of the question should be in application level, which is basically you want to write a program or analyze a program. And the 50% should be like an explanation or discussion, like you need to write some more theory kind of thing instead of writing the program. So I would suggest that you study the programming part also. Like for Android, our aim is not to look at the program. So Android part, we might not be having any programs, but for Java and for C++, particularly for C++, it is possible that we can there will be questions based on, or there will be a programming based question. So make sure you study how to write the program. Make sure there are the thing about programming is when you write a program, it is very difficult, because even if you miss a single semicolon, that means the program is wrong. Okay, or even if you put a space between two words, the program is wrong. So that mistake I have seen in many of your answer sheets, because of which you might lose marks. A good or a complete program is one in which there is not a single mistake. Like if you directly write the program in the C++ compiler or C++ IDE and you build it, it will build successfully without errors, and it will run, which gives you the correct result. That's an actual successful good program. So when you write the program, you always make mistakes somewhere here and there, like missing semicolon, putting space, and writing capital letter instead of small letter, etc., etc., etc. So be careful with that. So only how you can learn to write a program is to actually type and write the program in an IDE and execute it and check the result. So that's the only way that you can learn how to write a program in the answer sheets. Okay, so why I was telling this that there is a possibility that if your exam is online, then you will have 50% of questions based on application or design level. Okay, fine. So let me just share my screen. I hope everybody can see my presentation. It is just coming up. Just give me a second. Yeah, I hope you can see my presentation. If anybody have trouble in viewing my presentation, please let me know. Okay, so I'll just recap quickly the broadcast receivers. Then we'll go to the next session called as indents. Um, I hope you have understood what an activity is. Activity is any, if you open an application, each and every screen of that application can be considered as an activity. For example, if you are uh, like logging into Gmail, then the first thing that you will ask is your username and password in a screen. So that is one activity. Once you enter the username and password, then it will go to your inbox. That is the next activity. So when you click the any particular mail inbox, it will show display the email completely. So that is the third activity, and goes on like that. Okay. So apart from activity, there is something. The next component of Android application is called as broadcast receiver. Um, as you know, in your phone you will have a large number of applications like games, entertainment, communication type, productivity type. So there will be a number of applications in your phone. Now, it is possible that these applications might need to connect or exchange data between each other. For example, let's say you open an application, the file browser, okay? And when you open the application, you click on the file and you keep on pressing it so that it will ask or it will have a button to share the file. So when you click the share button, now it will show a list of things which you can share. For example, it will allow you to share via WhatsApp, it might allow to share via Gmail. There are a lot of things that you can share. So when you click, for example, WhatsApp, you can say the file automatically comes to the WhatsApp. So basically, there is some kind of a communication is happening between the file explorer in which the file is there and the WhatsApp in which you have going to share the file. So is where the broadcast receiver will come into picture. So whenever you want to share a data between applications, you have broadcast receiver. As we have told earlier, broadcast receiver is one component of our Android app. So there are 4 components. We have already finished activities. We are just looking at broadcast receivers. Now, this is a physical analogy. So let's say you have a radio broadcasting. Okay. Now, when the station wants to broadcast something, then what it will do is it will just air it, or it will just send wirelessly. Okay, it will broadcast. Now, it can be of different type. The message can be program, interview, etc., etc. Now, those who want to receive the message, or let's say somebody wants to hear the news. So those who want to receive the message, there are 2 ways to receive the message. One, you look up the program timetable, which usually published in newspapers or online, and or almost all the broadcasting stations will publish the list of programs they are broadcasting at each time. So you can look at the list of programs, you can point out which news that you want to hear. Then you can tune your radio or your TV, any channel, to that channel, and you can listen to the music. That is one way. That is the first way. Okay. The next way is, let's say you are just scanning through different channels of the radio or TV, and now you suddenly hear somebody reading the news. Then you can stop the scan and you can just start listening to that. So there are 2 different ways of listening to news depending on whether you plan it beforehand or you get it accidentally. Okay. In a similar way, a broadcast receiver is a way to communicate between different applications. So if any app or the system want to send a message to other apps, a broadcast message will be sent. So it will just broadcast, it will send to everything. Okay. Now, if any app wants to listen to that message or wants to get the information from that message, then that application will tell the operating system that, okay, I have that message, I saw the message, I want to look at it, what the message content is. Now, that message is called as indents. Okay, indent, or it comes from the user like indents, what the user indents while using app. For example, when a user logins to Gmail, he intends to read the email. When the user clicks the YouTube, he intends to view the video. When the user clicks the Amazon Music, the user intends to hear music. So that indent എന്താണ് ആ യൂസറിന്റെ യൂസർ ചെയ്യാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്, അതാണ് indent. ആ മെസ്സേജിന് പറയുന്ന പേരാണ് indent. Okay, so whenever whichever apps would like to listen to that message, it will register for it, and those registered apps receive them. So we'll see that in detail. Okay, so the implementation is like this. A broadcast receiver is implemented as a subclass of broadcast receiver class. So there's a class called as broadcast receiver, and it overrides a method called as onReceive. Okay, so this is a small portion of the code in which the class name is myReceiver. It is inherited from broadcast receiver class, and it implements a function called as onReceive. So whenever a message which is relevant to this application comes, this function will be called by the operating system, but the application needs to register for that. Okay, so you see this is actually the stack of Android operating system. Among this stack, there is a small module called as Activity Manager Service, which is the one which is going to tell the application a particular message has arrived and it is getting broadcasted. So there are two ways to register a receiver. Okay, I hope you have seen this screen. This is from the metrics first part, where the Morpheus will ask Neo whether you want to choose the blue pill or the red pill. Okay, so in a way, there are two ways to register a receiver. The first way is there's a special file which we have already mentioned in the last class called as Android manifest.xml file. So this was already, we will see this in very detail. Okay, so if any applications wants to like get a particular indent, that application will write in android.manifest.xml file which indent it wants to receive. So when the operating system gets the indent, it looks into this file and it sees that this particular application wants that message, and it will broadcast it to the application which it will receive. So it is just like the person looks up the program schedule and tune it to that at that time. For example, പാർക്കിങ്ങിന് ന്യൂസ് കേൾക്കണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആദ്യമേ തന്നെ പേപ്പറിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഓൺലൈനായിട്ടോ ഉള്ള പ്രോഗ്രാം ഷെഡ്യൂൾ നോക്കിയിട്ട് ആ കറക്റ്റ് ടൈമിൽ നമ്മൾ ട്യൂൺ ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പൊ അതിലെ പ്രോഗ്രാം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ മെസ്സേജ് ആണ്, പേർഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ലൈക്ക് സിസ്റ്റം ആണ്, ഷെഡ്യൂൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് മാനിഫെസ്റ്റ് ഡോട്ട് XML ഫയലാണ്. അപ്പൊ ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് മാനിഫെസ്റ്റ് ഡോട്ട് XML ഫയലിൽ നമ്മൾ പറയാണ്, ഓക്കെ, എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും ഫോണിന്റെ ബാറ്ററി ലോ ആവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ യു ഷുഡ് ഇൻഫോം മീ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എപ്പോഴാണോ ഫോണിന്റെ ബാറ്ററി ലോ ആകുന്നത്, ആക്ടിവിറ്റി മാനേജർ സർവീസ് ആ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനെ ഇൻഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നു ഫോണിന്റെ ബാറ്ററി ലോ ആണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് ഇൻഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഓക്കെ, സോ ദാറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഇൻഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓൺ റിസീവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഫംഗ്ഷനകത്തേക്ക് ഇവൻ ഒരു കോൾ വിളിക്കും. കോൾ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ കോൾ ദാറ്റ് ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ടെൽ ടു ദാറ്റ് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ദാറ്റ് this particular thing has happened. Okay, so this is a sample code in Android manifest.xml file. So we have written in the tag receiver what indent it needs to access. So there is something called an indent filter which we'll see in the next class. So indent filters are the, so indent എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മെസ്സേജ് എല്ലാ കുറേ തരം മെസ്സേജ് വരാം. അതിലെ ഏത് മെസ്സേജ് ആണ് ഈ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ റിസീവറിന് ആവശ്യമുള്ളത്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഈ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ ഹാങ് അപ്പ് ഓൺ, ആരെങ്കിലും ഫോൺ വിളിച്ച് കട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അപ്പം തന്നെ എനിക്ക് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ തരണം. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആക്ഷൻ കോൾ ബാക്ക് ഫ്രം നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ, അപ്പൊ ആരെങ്കിലും വിളിച്ച് മിസ്ഡ് കോൾ ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പം എൻ്റെ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷനിൽ വന്നു. സോ വാട്ട് ഐ ഡിഡ് വാസ് ഐ ക്ലിക്ക് ദാറ്റ് മിസ്ഡ് കോൾ ആൻഡ് കോൾ ഇറ്റ് ബാക്ക്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് അനദർ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ. സെൻഡ് SMS നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ if I send an SMS, let the application know that SMS has sent. Okay, so if any of this indent or any of this message of any of this action or any of this thing has occurred, then the activity manager service will go to the broadcast receiver of the application, phonic application, and calls the on receive function. ഇതിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരെണ്ണം ഒക്കർ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ബ്രോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് റിസീവറിനകത്തുള്ള ഏത് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ആണോ ഉള്ളത് ആ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനകത്തുള്ള ഓൺ റിസീവ് ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ കോൾ. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദിസ് ഈസ് എ സ്റ്റാറ്റിക് വേ ഓഫ് കോളിംഗ്. അനദർ വേ ഇതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഈ XML ഫയല് ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് റൺ ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് തന്നെ അവൻ വായിച്ചെടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി രണ്ടാമത്തെ പാർട്ട്, യു ക്യാൻ ഡൈനാമിക്കലി രജിസ്റ്റർ വയ കണ്ടക്സ് ഡോട്ട് രജിസ്റ്റർ റിസീവർ. ഈ കേസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ റൺ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പം എനിക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിനോട് പറയാം എന്തെങ്കിലും രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു ഇവന്റ് ഒക്കർ ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ബാറ്ററി ലോ ഇവന്റ് ഒക്കർ ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എന്നെ അറിയിക്കണമെന്ന് സിസ്റ്റം റൺ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് പറയാം. ഓക്കെ, അത് പറയുന്ന ഇതാണ് ആ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ നിന്ന് യു നീഡ് ടു കോൾ ദിസ് ഫംഗ്ഷൻ കണ്ടക്സ് ഡോട്ട് രജിസ്റ്റർ റിസീവർ എന്നുള്ള ഫംഗ്ഷൻ. സോ ഇഫ് യു ലുക്ക് അറ്റ് ദ ഫിസിക്കൽ അനോളജി, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ സ്കാൻ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് സ്റ്റേഷൻ. അപ്പൊ സ്കാൻ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ പെട്ടെന്ന് ന്യൂസ് വന്നു, അപ്പൊ ന്യൂസ് നിങ്ങൾ കേൾക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി. ഓക്കെ, സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് ഹൗ യു ക്യാൻ ഡൈനാമിക്കലി ടെൽ യു വാണ്ട് ടു ലുക്ക് ഫോർ എ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഇവന്റ്. So this is a syntax for this. You call register receiver and you will pass the filter and the receiver object. So when that event occurs, the on receive of the broadcast receiver of that particular application will be called. Okay, so this is what I have mentioned, it is telling now. So if the component has registered for any particular indent is the message or the event, then once that indent is generated, the on receive method of broadcast receiver is called. Now everything is dealt by activity manager service. So activity manager service is the main module which will call the on receive callback function. Okay, so this is what is broadcast receivers. I would like to know, anybody have any doubt on the broadcast receiver? Any doubts? If you don't have any doubts, then we'll go to the next one. Okay, so കഴിഞ്ഞ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ഇതിൽ ഞാൻ വീഡിയോ അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് I just ran through. All the explanations are there in that lecture video, but I just thought I will tell it again, just in case anybody have any doubts. Okay, doubt onnuilla, fine. So then let me take the next one. Okay, this is called as the next part is we are going to look in detail what this indent is. We have seen that we have mentioned that an indent is a message which is being circulated in the operating system Android operating system between apps so that you can communicate between apps. So communication between apps is possible because of broadcast receiver. The way in which it is getting communicated is by indents. Okay, the indents is also used to communicate between the different components. എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ activity, broadcast receiver, അതുപോലെ സർവീസസ് അതൊക്കെ ഡിഫറെന്റ് കമ്പോണൻസ് ആണ്. ഈ കമ്പോണൻസ് തമ്മിൽ അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ യു യൂസ് ഇൻഡെക്സ്. Okay. Okay. So let's look at what an indent is. So we are going to look at indent and indent filters. Actually, this is a very lengthy slides, so we might extend it to the next class also. Okay. So first, let's look at an analogy. Analogy means how you relate it to the natural world. Okay. So indents are like postal services. It delivers messages. അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു പോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫീസസ് എന്ന് നിങ്ങളൊരു കത്ത് അയക്കുന്നത്? ഇപ്പോൾ കത്തൊന്നുമില്ല, എന്നാലും it is similar to a postal service. It delivers messages. So how will you send a message? നിങ്ങളൊരു പോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫീസിൽ ചെന്നിട്ട് how are you going to send a message? So there is a specific process. So first you go to the post office, you put the message in an envelope, you write the address and put in the post box and send it to the address. Now it is possible a single envelope can have multiple messages arranged in some order. For example, ഒരു എൻവലപ്പിനകത്ത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരാൾക്ക് ഒരു മെസ്സേജ് അയക്കണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു കത്ത് അയക്കണം. ആ കത്ത് അയക്കണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഒരു കത്ത് എഴുതാം, അതിന്റെ കൂടെ മേ ബി ഒരു ഫോട്ടോയോ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും പേസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, എന്നിട്ട് അതൊരു എൻവലപ്പിനകത്ത് വെക്കണം. അപ്പൊ ബേസിക്കലി ഒരാളിലേക്ക് പോകുന്ന മെസ്സേജ് ആക്ച്വലി ഒന്നല്ല, മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ മെസ്സേജ് ആണ് ആ സിംഗിൾ എൻവലപ്പിനകത്തുള്ളത്. Now, if somebody receives that message, what will he do? So he will do some kind of an action. Those who receives the message will do an action according to the message. മെസ്സേജ് അയക്കുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് അയാൾ അവിടെ എന്തെങ്കിലും രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു ആക്ഷൻ എടുക്കുന്നു. ആക്ഷൻ എടുക്കാം, എടുക്കാതിരിക്കാം. അപ്പോൾ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഒരു അപ്പോയിന്റ്മെന്റ് ഓർഡർ ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുക. So if a company sends an appointment order to a person, which is a message, then the person will start the preparation for joining. So appointment order എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇന്ന ദിവസം ഇന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇന്ന കമ്പനിയിൽ ഹാജരായി അപ്പോയിന്റ്മെന്റ് എടുക്കണം എന്നുള്ളതായിരിക്കാം ആ ഒരു മെസ്സേജ്. Once he gets that appointment order, then what he does is he will inform everybody that he is getting appointed. He will start packing bags, etc., so that he can join on time. He will start booking the tickets if the company is very far, etc., etc. So the action, there is some kind of an action which is taken by that person. Now, if the message is a hall ticket, for നിങ്ങളുടെ കേസ് എക്സാം നടക്കുവാണ്, so you get a hall ticket. Now, if you get a hall ticket, you start preparation for the exam. Like, I don't believe that, but still, just for the sake of explanation, I am saying that if you get the hall ticket, what you will do, you will increase your pace in studying so that you can finish your syllabus before time. Maybe you can revise it once or twice, at least once, and you will look at the time and date inside the hall ticket if you need. Sorry. Now, if it's in the afternoon, then you need to tell your mother that you need lunch early so that you can reach there at this correct time. If it is in the morning, then you need to make arrangements for your travel, etc., etc. So there is some kind of an action which is happening for every message that you get. If any message, even if it is an email, this is the same. Okay, there is one form of message. Now, these messages are particularly intended for a particular person, ഒരാൾക്ക് സ്പെസിഫിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള മെസ്സേജാണ്. ഇനി there's another kind of message. This is called as, for example, notice or circulars and orders. അതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ it is just given to all the people so that it is for all of them. It is not addressed to a specific address. So in that case, there won't be any particular address. Person who needs, he can utilize it. And these messages are called implicit messages. അപ്പം ആർക്കാണോ ആവശ്യമുള്ളത് അയാൾക്ക് അത് ഉപയോഗിക്കാം. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഓർഡർ വന്നു. ഇപ്പൊ ലോക്ക്ഡൌണിന്റെ ഒരു ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഓർഡറാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ ലോക്ക്ഡൌണിന്റെ ഓർഡർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 8% താഴെയുള്ള TPR താഴെയുള്ള ആൾക്കാർ പ്രദേശങ്ങളിലെല്ലാം വളരെയധികം റിലാക്സേഷൻ. ഇതൊരു ഓർഡർ ആയിട്ടാണ് വരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ 8% TPR താഴെയുള്ള പ്രദേശങ്ങളിൽ then the people will make arrangements so that you have you can maintain social distancing and act according to the order. If the TPR is above 24%, then it's a triple lockdown. So the people will make sure that you have enough food in your home so that you don't want to go out at all the time. So that order that came is for all the people. It's not for any specific person. Okay. Now it is possible that this order might not affect you also. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഇപ്പം കമ്പനിയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാൾക്ക് ഗവൺമെന്റ് എംപ്ലോയീസിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ഓർഡേഴ്സ് നോക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. ഓക്കെ. സോ ദീസ് ആർ ഓൾ കോൾഡ് ആസ് ഇംപ്ലിസിറ്റ് ഓർഡേഴ്സ്. നോ, an indent is a message one component uses to interact with or request functionality from other components. നമ്മുടെ കമ്പോണൻസ് ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? ആക്ടിവിറ്റി, സർവീസ്, ബ്രോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് റിസീവർ എന്നൊക്കെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ കമ്പോണന്റ്. ഒരു ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ തന്നെ you can have multiple activity 1, activity 2. If you want to pass a message from activity 1 to 2, you pass it using an indent. So indent is the message which is passing from activity 1 and 2. For example, when you type your username and password and enter your Gmail, then before going into the inbox, the activity in which you are typing your username and password, the username and password will be collected as an indent and will be passed to the next activity, which is to display the inbox. That activity will verify the username and password. If it is correct, then that activity will be displayed. Otherwise, it will show that your login has failed. Okay, so our message angotu pova. We'll see what a service is later. Okay, and the application can also have a receiver, which is called as a broadcast receiver. You can also pass indent to this. So indent are actually a glue. Glue means pasha, that help integrate Android apps. Okay, so indent illengil it will be very difficult to have a communication between different applications of Android and even in between the applications, inside the application. Okay. So app development is very much simplified because of this indents. Let's take an example. So this is an image download application which we have seen during our session of activity. So now you see that you have three activities. The first activity is where in which you are entering the username, entering the web address in which you want to download the image. Then this is the second activity in which it is getting downloaded, and this is the third activity in which the image is getting shown inside the gallery. So in the first activity, when you enter this URL, it will be sent as kind of an indent to the second activity. Okay, the second activity gets the indent, decodes the indent, finds that there is an URL inside. It will go to the web and starts downloading. It finishes download. Now it gets an image. So it will inform the third activity that this is the image in this particular location. So the gallery application will go to that particular location and display the image. Okay. So that's how all the indents are working. Now, if you look in more detail, there will be a main activity. Main activity is just like the main function in our C++. There will be some starting point for that activity. Now, the main activity component uses indents to obtain functionality from the other components. So, for example, in this main activity, we are entering our URL. Okay. Now, there is a service called as download service, which accesses the URL, downloads the image, and put it in some location. and the path to that location is called as a URI, Uniform Resource Identifier. Okay. Now, this download service will let the main activity know that the path of the image getting downloaded using an indent. Okay. And the main activity now passes this indent to the gallery activity. So the gallery activity will go to this path, which is called as URI, and display the image. Okay, so in all this like communication, you are using an indent to pass the message which is being generated. Okay, fine. So I think I'll stop it here. There are some more part to be described. Okay, so this needs some more time. I don't think I'll be able to finish within next 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, fine. So let's take that lens.